Hey chord coders, welcome back. We're going to start with E minor because we ended with D sharp on the 5th string last time. And we're going to start with E minor because the 6th string starts with E. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to use the major scale formula. What we're doing is we're basically taking the 3rd interval there and we're making it flat, because for a major triad it's 1 3 5. For a minor triad it's 1 flat third 5. So we're just flatting the 3rd interval. So basically you're going to end up with E, G, and B, and this chord's not going to contain any notes that aren't E, G, and B. We're going to be playing 6 notes total, but the E is going to repeat 3 times, the B, the 5th interval, is going to repeat twice, and the 3rd interval is only going to repeat once, which is always a reoccurring pattern. If you've ever watched my last couple of videos, I explain why, and it's because the 3rd interval switches a lot, and that switches the entire chord to something completely different. So basically this is the E minor chord. So we're only using E, G, and B, but the E repeats 3 times, the B repeats twice, and the G appears once. All we're doing is switching that G sharp on the 3rd string. We're taking our finger completely off the G sharp on the 3rd string and we're making it a G. So we're just taking that 1 note back, and by taking that 1 note back, we're turning E major into an E minor. We're just lifting 1 finger. And that's the E major chord formation. And I said in the 2nd video I made that that's the E major chord formation. And in this video I talk about the E minor chord formation. And this is another way to make E minor. And all you're really doing is you're putting your finger on the E note on the 4th string. And you're only playing the 4th string down to the 1st. You're not playing the first 2. So here's what it sounds like with all 6 strings. And here's what it sounds like with just 4 strings. Which is still an E minor. You're still playing E, G, and B. You're just playing E twice instead of 3 times. You're really doing, because you could make E like this too. If you're trying to play E major, you could make E major a chord. Just like that, just by doing it that way. And then if you take your finger off G sharp, it becomes E minor. And this is F minor. It's going to be F, G sharp, and C. And all we're doing is taking that 3rd interval back from A to G sharp. So F minor is going to be like that. So basically what you're doing is you're playing the E, the E minor chord formation with the 2 fingers on, the 4th and 5th strings. But you're doing it at the 3rd fret. See, so we're moving from the 2nd fret, which is E minor, down to the 3rd fret, and we're barring the 1st. So the first, when you play E minor, you're playing it like this. You have an open fret here on the 1st because the chord is being barred by the nut and just the guitar being tuned to E standard. But then when you move it down to F minor, you have to bar the 1st fret. So you're making the E minor chord formation with the C and the F there on the 5th and 4th strings, but you're just barring the 1st fret and making it F minor. So it's still the E minor chord formation, but you're just taking it down to F and playing F minor. Also, however, if you really want to, you can bar the first 3 strings on the 1st fret and just hit that F on the 4th string. And to demonstrate what I'm talking about, so this is F minor, and you're barring the 1st fret, but really all I did in this diagram is I grayed out the F on the 6th string and the C on the 5th string. So really, when you play F like this, F minor like this, you're playing the same chord, you're just excluding the two notes, F on the 6th string and C on the 5th string. F sharp minor is one of the most used chords I found. Like, it's like C sharp minor and F sharp minor. Don't ask why, but they are two of the most used chords ever. Everybody uses F sharp minor. A, E, F sharp minor, D. I won't say what song that is because of copyright. But yeah, you're basically starting it at F sharp, and you're just taking the B flat from F sharp major to A for F sharp minor. So it looks like this. And you can also play F sharp minor as a 4-note chord as well. G minor is a really cool sounding one. It's G, B flat, and D, of course. You're moving the B from the 3rd interval to a B flat because B flat comes before B and after A, and it sounds very rudimentary, but it's the only natural flat in the note series, and it really throws people off because they're like C, C sharp, D, D sharp, F, F sharp, but B flat's one of those where, you know, people call it A sharp or whatever, but I don't. It's B flat for me, and we're going to be using the same E minor chord formation that you learned down here, E minor. A lot of people, if they're just playing E minor in the first position as an open chord, they're going to use these two fingers, the middle finger and the ring finger. But if you're going to be playing minor bar chords, you're going to want to use your ring finger and your pinky, so you can throw that index finger across the fret and bar it. So that's G minor. And you can also play this one just the same. You can play any of these chords as a 4-note chord off the 4th string. The last one I'm going to show is G sharp minor. And because I showed A through D sharp in the last video on the 5th string, so I'm going to end it with G sharp minor. And G sharp minor is going to be G sharp, B, and D flat. And you make it a minor chord because you're flatting the 3rd. And that's really the only difference. It's so easy that all you have to do is lift a finger. And, you know, if you wanted to play this as a 4-note chord, you could. 6th fret, 4th string for the G sharp bass, and then you're barring the first 3 strings on the 4th fret. And that's how you're going to make G sharp minor. And you can continue this if you want. You know, you can go G sharp minor, A minor, B flat minor, B minor, C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, D sharp minor, E minor. You absolutely can. I normally don't go past the 7th or 8th fret for any barred chord, just because the higher up you go, the more tinier, higher pitched it starts sounding. That's all I'm going to have for today. So until next time, keep rocking. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it to support the channel, and subscribe to it so you'll be the first one to be notified before any new content gets uploaded. But every slide I use in any video or any presentation I do is going to be available for download for free in the description And you can also download the first chapter of the book for free.